Hey, Mom. Hope you've been doing well lately. I wanted to talk to you about Christmas this year. We decided that we'll come after all, so all three of us are planning to stay with you guys. Things might get a little hectic, but we're really looking forward to seeing you guys.
I see. And how long will you be staying?
Right now, the plan is just for 2 nights. We'll get there Christmas Eve and leave the next morning.
All right. Well, I shouldn't need to tell you this, but having that many guests in the house will mean a lot of work for me. I expect you to pull your own weight, so be prepared for that.
I was always intending to help out.
There will be cooking, cleaning, decorating, setting out the presents. Oh, my goodness, I'm going to have so much to do. So I hope you aren't planning on relaxing, because as long as I'm working, you're going to be right there beside me.
Okay, I understand, Mom. By the way, I've been meaning to ask you. We sent you a little present for your birthday. Did it arrive yet?
Yes, it came in the mail.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. You never mentioned anything about it, so I was getting a little concerned that it got lost in the mail or something.
Did you expect me to go out of my way to send you a message over something like that? Oh, please.
And one more thing. My daughter drew you a picture, too. Did you see it?
You mean that piece of scrap paper? I ripped that filthy thing to shreds and threw it in the trash where it belongs.
You threw it away? But Mom, she worked really, really hard on that picture for you. She was really excited to hear what you thought of it. Did you really throw it away?
Isn't that what I just said? I mean, really, that was supposed to be a picture of me? It didn't look a thing like me. It looked like some drunkard spilled paint all over the paper and spread it around with his face.
Ma, couldn't you consider her feelings just a little bit? She drew that for you. She wanted to make her grandma happy on her birthday.
Why would I be happy to receive a piece of garbage in the mail?
Really, Mom? Garbage?
I feel so sorry for the poor tree that met its end just to be made into the paper that horrific picture was painted on. Next time you think to send me some stupid sentimental trash like that, send me more presents instead. You have no common sense at all.
Mom, I am begging you. Can't you please just try and be kinder to her? Can't you just have a normal relationship?
Excuse me?
It's killing me to see the way you treat her, and I'm sure she feels just as bad. She's been looking forward to seeing you. I don't want to go all the way over there just for you to be cold to her.
And why should I be anything but cold to her? I was very clear about my expectations for you, and yet you failed me miserably. Maybe if you had given birth to a boy like I told you, I would feel differently.
Oh, for Pete's sake, are you still mad at me for having a daughter instead of a son?
Of course I am. What good is a daughter-in-law who gives me a granddaughter when I asked for a grandson? And to think I have to host such a useless daughter-in-law and the granddaughter I never wanted in my house during Christmas.
Mom, I promise you I will work my tail off while we're staying with you guys. I will do everything that you ask me to do. I will do all of the work for you if you want. I don't care if you never accept me as your daughter-in-law, so please keep on treating me however you want. But please, please, won't you accept your granddaughter?
The only thing that you can possibly do that will ever get me to accept you or that girl is to give me a grandson. That's the bare minimum I expect from you. And if you can't even do the bare minimum required of you, just what good are you anyway?
Hey there, Mom. We just got to your house.
I see. The door is open. You can let yourselves in.
Are you home right now?
No, I went over to a friend's house. They have a lovely vegetable garden, and they're sharing some of the produce with me. I'll come back after having a cup of tea.
Oh, okay. Then I guess we'll just let ourselves in, like you said.
I won't be home for a while, so make sure to get dinner ready for all of us. Once you're done with that, clean the toilets and bathtubs in the main bathroom and the guest bathroom.
Is it all right if I use whatever's in the fridge for dinner?
Absolutely not. That's all for the big family dinner tomorrow. Don't you dare touch any of it. There will be a lot of relatives and neighbors coming tomorrow, so I stocked up early to ensure I'd have enough to feed everyone.
Dinner? Oh, okay. Then what should I do about dinner?
I shouldn't have to tell you that, you useless girl. Go to the store and buy everything you need yourself.
Right. Is there anything you'd like me to fix for you tonight?
It's a bit chilly outside. I think I'm in the mood for something that will warm me up after the cold walk home.
how about I make up a quick batch of some chicken soup?
Chicken soup? Oh, what a terribly dull choice. Is that all you can make?
Would you rather I fix something else?
No, you can stick with the chicken soup. If I asked you to make anything more complicated, you'd probably end up burning the house down.
Yeah, I'll bet you're right.
And when you're done shopping, cooking, and cleaning for tonight, work on getting tomorrow's dinner ready to cook. Then you can go into the basement storage room and wrap all the presents I've prepared. You know where the wrapping paper is, right?
Yeah, I remember from when I helped do it last year.
Good. After you've finished wrapping the presents, I want you to go and spread salt out on the sidewalk and driveway. We're supposed to get a nasty blizzard rolling in tonight. I don't want anyone coming tomorrow to slip and fall. You're going to have my entire house spick and span by tomorrow morning. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
You said you were going to work, and I am going to hold you to that promise. Make sure to do it all right. I better not have to fix any of your mistakes.
I'll be careful.
And don't think just because you cleaned the house for me that I suddenly accept you as my daughter. Just like giving me a grandson, this is the bare minimum I expect from you. I did the same thing for my mother-in-law when I married my husband, too.
I know, you've told me about that before. Oh, and one more thing, where should I put all of our luggage?
You can't put my son's things in the guest bedroom. Take a clean set of sheets out of the closet and make the bed for me while you're in there.
The guest room? But that room only has a single bed. It won't be big enough for all three of us.
I know.
Then how are we all going to fit in that room? And where are we supposed to
You're not. You and the girl won't be staying in that room.
stay?
The shed in the backyard. I put an old blanket and pillow in there for you, so that's where you'll be sleeping the next 2 nights.
The shed?
That's what I said.
Shed? You want us to sleep in the shed overnight when there's a blizzard coming?
The shed has a roof and doors that will keep out the wind and snow. Might be a little bit dirty in there, so you'll have to change into clean clothes before you come into the house in the morning.
Okay, Mom, that is not happening. You can't expect us to sleep in the shed. Just having a roof and a door isn't going to be enough to shelter us from the bitter cold.
That's why I gave you a blanket. Be glad I gave you that much. If you'd prefer, you could always sleep outside. Take your pick, the shed or out.
Why are you making only me and our daughter sleep outside? You know she's only 4 years old, right? I can't let her sleep overnight in that shed.
You'll take what you're given. You and that girl have no right to sleep safely and comfortably in my house. Not until you give me a male heir, anyway.
Why do you hate us so much? My daughter doesn't deserve this treatment from you. I'm the one you hate, right? Make me sleep out in the shed, but let my daughter inside.
You were wrong to give birth to a girl, and that girl was wrong to not be born a boy.
I can't believe this. She's your granddaughter.
I have no need for a granddaughter. I told you I wanted a grandson. And I am sick and tired of having to explain this all to you. Now go make yourself useful for a change and do all the work I instructed you to do. Once you're done, take that girl and lock yourselves in the shed. Don't you dare come out until morning. I'm on my way home now. Did you finish getting dinner ready? Oh, as well as the cleaning?
I see you're finally coming back. Yeah, Mom, I finished everything I needed to. And now we are having some much-needed rest. Don't worry, we're not in the house.
You had better be in the shed like I ordered you. So tell me, are the two of you nice and comfortable in there? It's the perfect place for a couple of useless females like you and that girl. Oh, and do watch out for mice. It seems they've built a nest for themselves in there to get through the winter.
Oh, yeah, Mom, it's incredibly comfy here. The room is beautiful, the scenery is terrific, and the open-air spa area is unbelievable.
What? Where are you? An open-air spa? We don't have one of those at our house.
I told you we weren't at the house, didn't I? We decided to stay the night at a spa resort instead.
A spa resort? Where?
The one outside of town. It's about a 30-minute drive from your house to here.
What on earth do you think you're doing, spending the night over there? What has gotten into that ridiculous head of yours? Get back to our house right this instant.
Why would I do that when you won't even let us sleep in a proper room? We figured that if you're only going to give us the choices of sleeping in the shed or outside, we should go and find our own accommodations elsewhere. And wow, am I glad we picked this place!
You useless, good-for-nothing woman! How dare the two of you black sheeps hog all that comfort and luxury for yourselves? Get back to the house and go sleep in the shed!
It's not just my daughter and I at the hotel, Mom. All three of us are here. Me, my husband, and our daughter.
He's there with you?
Indeed he is, Mom. As a matter of fact, your son was the one who suggested we leave your house and stay here. He said that he would never let his wife and daughter stay in the same house as someone who treats us like you did.
You! This was all your plan from the very beginning, wasn't it? There's no way you could have gotten a room there on a moment's notice like this. It's Christmas Eve. All the resorts in the area are either closed or have been fully booked for months.
Actually, the one we're at just so happens to be run by the parents of one of my husband's college classmates. I wasn't hopeful at first, but we called and asked them if there were any rooms available, and what do you know? It turns out they had just received a cancellation earlier in the day, and we were welcome to use the room if we like. What a fortunate coincidence!
That's no coincidence. It is way too good to be true.
To be quite honest, I think you might be right. Seriously? Getting a room at a nice spa resort hotel late at night on Christmas Eve? I'm pretty sure my husband's friend had to pull a few strings to get this room for us. I sure picked a great man to marry, huh? He has connections in all sorts of places around here.
Why did you drag my son along with you? He could have stayed at the house. He was supposed to stay in the guest room.
You really don't get it, Mom? He's finally had enough of you. You were trying to force his wife and daughter to sleep in the filthy, rat-infested shed on a night when a major blizzard was expected. Temperatures are supposed to drop below 0. Once he heard about everything, he got angrier than I have ever seen him get before. He told me, pack our things back into the car and we're leaving. And we did.
Why would he get that angry at me? He's my son. Surely he understands. He must feel even stronger than I do. You failed to give him a son. I'll bet he regrets marrying a useless woman like yourself.
Good. You apparently don't know your son as well as you think you do. He doesn't think like you at all. He loves me and our daughter. He would never, ever abandon us in the cold like that.
Such foolishness. I am positive my son wanted a son of his own. That poor boy. I can't even imagine how disappointed he must have felt when that girl came out of you.
Like that. The only person in this entire family who feels that way is you, Mom.
Don't be ridiculous. I am the matriarch of the family, and I know that everyone's primary concern is the continuation of our family line.
My husband has a message for you about that, actually. He says, this isn't the freaking Middle Ages, Mom.
Fine. Sleep wherever you want. I don't care. However, you will be back at my house first thing tomorrow morning, bright and early. You have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, about that. We've also decided that we won't be attending the family Christmas dinner tomorrow after all.
What? What are you talking about?
I hope you understand, Mom. The thing is, we just really don't want to have to see your face right now. We won't be participating in any events held at your house for the foreseeable future.
Knock off that senseless, selfish talk this instant. I will not allow you to skip out on the work that you agreed to do.
I'm sorry, Mom, but you are absolutely in no position to stop us from doing anything. Oh, and by the way, seeing as we're not going to attend tomorrow's Christmas party, I also decided that I wasn't going to do any of the preparation for it. You'll have to take care of everything yourself. You'd better get started if you're going to finish in time.
You haven't done any of the preparations? What in the world have you been doing for the last 2 hours?
Looking for a place to stay.
Useless! You are utterly useless, just like I was saying all along. And what about my dinner?
I was too busy looking for a hotel to go shopping for dinner supplies, so I couldn't make anything.
I am incredibly disappointed, both in your reprehensible behavior and in my son for marrying a vile, wicked, lazy woman like yourself. I can't finish all the preparations for the Christmas party by myself. There's far too much work to be done.
I don't know what you mean. I've never had any problems getting everything ready by myself. Then again, ever since we got married, you've been forcing me to do it all alone, so maybe I'm just used to it by now. In any case, you always used to do everything by yourself, right? I'm sure a person as experienced as yourself will manage somehow.
My knees and back aren't what they used to be. I'm not as young as I once was. I can't do it all alone, not anymore.
I know. You were planning to just sit back and relax while I do all of your work for you, just like every year. But I'm not doing it anymore.
What do I have to say to you to make you understand? It's my turn to pass the torch. I've fulfilled my duties as matriarch for the family for decades, and now that you've married into our family, it's your turn to take on all this work. That's been the way my family has done things for generations.
And those old customs will now come to an abrupt end. When I married your son, I swore a vow to devote myself to him for the rest of my life. Doing your chores for you wasn't part of that bargain. So, if you want to keep up your old customs, you go right ahead and do it. As for us, we're going to start some brand new customs of our own.
Please, you've got to come back here. My house has become a total disaster area. I can't do this all by myself. I need your help.
Sorry, Mom, but you're too late. We're getting ready to leave the hotel, and when we do, we're driving straight home.
But it's Christmas Day. If you leave now before even opening the presents, what even was the purpose of coming all this way?
I don't know, having a nice stay in a spa resort hotel. Honestly, the open-air spa they have here alone would have been worth the trip.
You aren't going to celebrate Christmas with us? But we always have a family dinner on Christmas in my family. We've done it this way for generations.
And I'm sure they had a wonderful time doing it that way. But I'm more concerned about my family right now than your family over the last 100 years or so. I don't want to spend such an important day with a person who treated me and my daughter so poorly.
What do you want from me? Tell me. What do I have to do for you?
Honestly, at this point there isn't a single thing you could do to redeem yourself in my eyes. We're never going to come to any Christmas dinners at your house ever again. We've decided to spend Christmas with my parents from now on.
Then when will you be coming back to visit? Easter?
Not Easter, not July 4th, not even for birthdays. We're never going to see you again.
You can't turn your backs on me like this.
We are never going to call or write to you, and we won't be sending you any birthday or Christmas presents. And anything you try to send to us will be sent back. We don't want anything from you, not even your money.
But I need you. I told you, didn't I? My knees and back are growing worse and worse by the day. I might be able to get around on my own just fine for the present, but eventually I'm going to need someone else around to take care of me.
Spit it out, Mom. What are you trying to say?
I can be the bigger person here and apologize for any of my past actions you saw as objectionable. Not that I'm admitting guilt. On the contrary, I still maintain my innocence. However, if it's what's necessary to move forward, I will apologize.
That's not how apologizing works. Did someone put you up to this? Did one of your relatives tell you to apologize to me and get me to come back?
It's not one of them, it's all of them. I can't understand it at all, but everyone is taking your side.
I can explain that. My husband sent out a late-night mass email to the family explaining what you had done to me and why we were leaving. Everyone knows that we're not coming to the Christmas party because of how you treated me and our daughter. He wasn't going to wait and let you give your version of the story, which would in no doubt bend the truth to make yourself look more favorable.
They're all treating me like I'm the bad guy when I'm not. I need you to come back here so I can clear everything up to them.
They're treating you that way for a reason, Mom. You are the bad guy. You tried to make your 4-year-old granddaughter sleep in a rat-infested shed during a blizzard.
What's so bad about rats? When I was a girl, I'd see rats running around the house all the time. It never bothered me. And the cold? All we had in our house was a single wood-burning stove to keep us warm. You're just being dramatic.
Well, it is very clear to me that this conversation is pointless. I'm done. You don't need to say any more.
So are you coming back?
I thought that would have been clear by now, but since you apparently haven't gotten the point yet, no. You can't even bring yourself to apologize to me. All you've done is make excuses and rationalize your behavior by invoking your family's tradition.
You've got to understand things from my point of view. I have a big responsibility as the family matriarch. Perhaps I was a bit overzealous, but you can overlook that, can't you?
I've overlooked far too much from you already. I was trying to be more accepting of your old-fashioned ways, but now I realize the truth.
What truth?
That you are really not concerned about your family traditions at all. All you want to do is abuse your power as a family matriarch. I talked to your husband and his siblings before he died. They told me that their mother was perfectly kind and respectful to you.
That's ridiculous. She was just the same to me as I'm being to you.
She taught you to cook, to clean, to plan family events, everything. She took you under her wing as if you were her own. And as far as prioritizing having male descendants, your husband's older brother had a girl for the family's first grandchild. And your mother-in-law was absolutely crazy about her. So we're done dealing with whatever psycho power trip you've been on since taking over the role of matriarch. We don't have to put up with you, and we won't. My parents have been inviting us for Christmas dinners at their house for years now, and we're finally going to take them up on their offer. Goodbye, Mom.
Wait! Okay, I see where you're coming from, but let's take a moment and calm down before making any hasty decisions, okay? I know that if you cut me off like this and something happens to me, you're going to regret it forever.
The only person around here with anything to regret is you. You called me a useless daughter-in-law because I didn't give you a grandson for our first child. Well, I say you're a useless mother-in-law for treating your own granddaughter so cruelly. Now I suggest you go make yourself useful and get to work. If you don't serve your guests dinner soon, they'll probably start leaving. We stopped by a few friends in town to give them Christmas greetings and drove straight back home. The whole time, my mother-in-law was blowing up my phone with texts, but I ignored every single one. We kept our promise to never go near her house for any more family get-togethers. From what our other relatives say, that's kind of taken the wind out of her sails. I guess she really was concerned about how quickly she was showing signs of aging and thought she could depend on our family to support her. It must have been a huge shock to see her only lifeline turn their backs and walk away. But my husband is insistent that we not change our minds about cutting her out of our lives. His words were, "She brought all of this on herself. She doesn't deserve our pity." As for my daughter, she's loving the time we're spending with my parents, and my parents feel the same way about her. I do feel bad for my mother-in-law, but my husband is exactly right. After what she did to my daughter and me, she doesn't deserve a single ounce of pity from me.